Welcome back to the University of New Haven's Business Analytics Department series on the R language and working within the RStudio environment. In today's video, we are going to combine two different data sets into one data frame or matrix so that we can work with it and run some calculations. All right, to get started, let's look in the scripting window. Just done a little housekeeping, removed any lists that have been previously created, as well as created two different vectors. One called graduates is a series of strings, which are names in this case, and then another vector called salaries, which is a series of integers, and those are going to represent the salaries for these individual names. So we're going to combine these two things. So to get started, let's highlight our script, hit Control Enter. We look in the environment window in the top right corner. We see the two variable names added. One is a character, one is a set of numbers, each with 10 objects in them. Let's look real quick just to make sure everything's loaded properly. We call salaries, hit enter. We see all the values within each index of that vector called salaries. If we wanted to look at a specific index slot, we call the salaries variable name, and let's look at slot 3, and we should get the value 65 when we hit enter, and it's 65. So we know we've loaded everything properly. All right, now we're going to create a data frame. So to do that, we're going to first come up with a name. We're going to call it sal.data. That's going to be the name of the data frame. And we're going to create a data frame, we're going to use the function as. So as.dataFrame, we see it pop up immediately. Hit enter, and we're going to use salaries as the first entry into the data frame. So we type salaries, select that. All right. Now, if you look in the environment window, we see a new variable, sal.data, 10 objects, one variable. If we wanted to look at it, sal.data shows us that there are 10 index slots or 10 objects, and what is in each one of those. What is the value held in each index slot? In this case, salaries. All right, so next we're going to combine the names of the graduates so that they are corresponding to the salary values. So let's call back sal.data, and this time we're going to use the money sign and call graduates. And we're going to have that equal graduates. Hit enter. And now let's look at what sal.data looks like. We see, once again, the 10 index slots, 10 salaries, and then now 10 names that correspond to the salaries. So we now have rows, and then we also have columns. This is a data frame that we can work with now. But let's just double check, make sure everything is formatted properly. So we're going to go back down and type is.dataFrame. And this is going to give us a true-false answer, and it's going to validate whether sal.data is a properly formatted data frame. So sal.data is going to be the parameter within the parentheses. We hit enter, it says true. Now, since we have rows and columns, let's try to look back at index slot 3. Like we originally did, we call sal.data, but since we have rows and columns, we're going to use brackets. The first slot in the bracket is going to represent rows, and the second slot is going to represent the column. So we just want to look at row 3. So we type 3 and then a comma and nothing left, nothing in the next slot, and that will just show us row 3. So we should get row 3, 65, Diane. We hit enter. That's exactly what we got. We've done it properly. Thanks again for joining us. I encourage you to hit the follow button below, and there will be to see some additional videos from the University of New Haven's Business Analytics Department. Thanks again.